All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. We are doing the weed sector technical analysis videos looking at Tilray and ACB. Look, I know there's a lot of bad things on this chart right now, but I will very quickly say I am so glad we avoided these two lines, because if we lost these, it was going to be a downward fall into all-time lows, right? That's what we talked about in the last video, and I'm very, very happy that that didn't happen, okay? Before getting into the details real quick, what are we going to do today? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how things are setting up. We have our 5 moving averages, the horizontal support and resistance lines, and then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please like and subscribe. It does really well with the YouTube algorithms, but even if you don't, I'm so thankful that you're here and watching this, okay? And look, if you disagree with anything I got to say, please throw it in the comments, all right? I'm not here pretending to be perfect or all-knowing or anything like that, all right? And I would much rather you tell me I'm wrong and, help me make some money or avoid me losing some money, right? Kind of the same thing I'm trying to do for you guys. Nothing is obviously financial advice. These are all just opinions from people online. So look, let's get into the details, okay? I zoomed out this much really just to kind of cover this because, again, what we were initially hoping for Tilray was to do what a lot of other stocks did in January, right? This red with a couple insignificant greens. The goal really was to come all the way up here. It really was, but clearly it was that 100 line right there, the 200 not that far away from it, definitely stopped it, and clearly we had a pretty hard rejection. You can tell by the support lines, right? I didn't draw any lines up here because really it seemed like things were coming down here. And look, I'm so glad that that rejection wasn't even harder. You know what I mean? And look, right now, what are we looking at? We're in a little bit of an interesting place. First and foremost, let me just say this. Honestly, I would not touch this stock until we broke that 100. Okay, really, you could almost make the argument that I wouldn't even touch it until we broke the 200. But yeah, I think if we break that 100, there should be some good red to climb. Okay, but honestly, like I wouldn't put my money in this wondering if we're gonna break these 3 lines. Okay, just first and foremost. Excuse me, because let's take a look down here real quick before we jump back. This MACD has been pretty much horizontal, going anywhere between positive and negative. It's pretty much just riding that 0 line, right? This looked a little better where you see green over red, sustaining, actually going up. Now we're definitely in a good long hold of red over green, and this is kind of going downhill, right? From there, kind of the same thing. Look, the RSI never really had that same, beautiful separation. It really was almost perfectly horizontal, and it really has been this whole time, right? So these two right here aren't telling me much, right? And just look, volume was up here. It was so bad there was a drop to here, and then again we have another drop to down here, right? So there's a lot of things just telling me Tilray might be doing nothing more than going horizontal with these 5 lines, okay? We are in a cluster. We definitely lost this cluster right here, came down, and now really the cluster is just kind of moving down with us, right? So maybe we'll be able to kind of bounce in between these 3 lines. Maybe after we break this, we'll kind of start to bounce in these 4 lines, right? Again, I sincerely wouldn't touch this until we break this, until we break the top of 2-1, which roughly speaking is this line right here. I almost don't want to draw the line because it's literally going to go horizontal with it. And again, these next ones are the lines that matter, right? I guess I could have drawn something right here. I'll draw this. Let's take this plateau right there. Again, a little bit over it, and then I'll go in the weekly for the next one, I think maybe. But yeah, look, again, overall, this let me start here again. I'm so glad we didn't test these because look at the weekly, okay? It definitely was going to be all-time lows. There's no past price history. And look, we've hit this line a couple times. So the last thing I want to do is hit it one more time and see if it's strong enough. You know what I mean? So, and look, that line we just drew lines up perfectly with the 50 moving average on the weekly. I mean, I'm telling you, this stock right here is nothing more than all about the moving averages. Look, I'm kind of seeing a little bit of a curve up. There's obviously this little red right here. Maybe we can run to right here. Maybe. You know what I mean? But look, am I really trying to play in between these? No. And if you're watching, look, I'm not here to tell you what to do with your money, okay? I hope you know that, right? I'm never going to tell you to buy. I'm never going to tell you to sell. I'm never going to tell you average up. I've been telling you don't average down, right? But, you know, your money is your decision, but I always stress there's no such thing as a guaranteed trade. There's no such thing as you know, this or that. But it's a little easier when you're over all the moving averages. It's a little easier when you're over that stack right there and you have that nice little spacing between the next ones. It's definitely a little easier when you can get over a good peak and have nothing more than just a nice downhill of red you want to turn into an uphill of green, right? There's things we're looking for. Look, Las Vegas odds aren't like 70% market, you know, 70% casino, 30% us, right? There's no way people would go there. It's literally like 53% them, 47% us, right? All I'm looking for is to move the percentages just enough to hopefully give me that little bit of an advantage. You know what I mean? So house doesn't always win, but if you can stay with these rules long term, man, I'm telling you, different things will happen to your account than they will otherwise. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think that's pretty much on the daily. Let's look at the weekly real quick. I mean, look, all we are doing is going under the 8 and the 20. A nice little moment right here. And then long, this is what have you done for me lately? Not what have you done from October to December. You know what I mean? We had a nice moment. Yeah, couple good weeks over both lines. But yeah, maybe a week or two up here, but yeah, over both lines. Look, rule number 1 is get over the 8. Rule number 1.5 is get over both the 8 and the 20, right? So a lot of it is, you know, is what it is. And look, there's also an argument to say, hey, even wait for this line to break and get a nicer ride on the weekly. Because look, we haven't even broken the 50, okay? We closed really close to it. We opened over it, but neither of those mean anything, right? It's a close over that matters, right? So this 50 is no joke. And that 387 line is like right on it, right? So again, definitely way more pessimistic than bullish, but hey, just don't go under those lines, and we're at least way better than it can be, if you know what I mean right there. Okay, so that was Tilly. Okay, ACB, let's try. Okay, no bueno on ACB. All right, look, again, 8 moving average is really the whole story right here, right? It makes a nice little run up because obviously, again, you know, I don't even have to say it, right? Red, 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 red should turn into green, 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 green. Definitely makes a nice little move to the 8, but yeah, it's not going to get over the 8. Come on now, right? Like, again, you know I've been doing my very best the last couple of videos to stay unbiased on this stock, all right? Unfortunately, look, this stock, I mean, there's so much this thing needs to prove to me, and that actually has come from these videos. Honestly, I never saw ACB in that light until I've been making these for almost every week for almost the last like 7 months. You know what I mean? Like, ACB moves oddly, and generally it moves quicker down than it does up. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, like, I also just it's like, I don't know if I should assume Tilray's going to do the same thing, right? Because let's start looking down here. That's a really bad RSI, right? It definitely looks like it's going to go lower. And I know 16 is a wildly low number, but what's this one right here? It was 5 not that long ago. You know what I mean? So yeah, 16 seems real low, but there's a lot of ways it could go till it hits 5, right? So that's really bad. This looks like it's not even done yet, right? And I mean, look how bad volume is, right? So where Tilly was looking like it was trying to do a curve, this thing already kind of tried to do it and failed it, right? And back to Tilly real quick. Again, that's kind of what I like. Maybe we'll like do a nice little move, but like, is it really going to break it? I'm not sure, right? And again, what ACB did was it lost one of the 2 support lines that take it to all-time lows, right? Again, same thing. We had 2 lines stacked right by each other because if it lost both, it'll go into all-time lows. And I promise you, the last place you want your money is all-time lows, okay? Look, I'm just going to flash it real quick. I don't know if you were watching Lunar or not. the best place you want your money is in all-time highs, right? Because then again, when you break that line, you just run silly, right? But like the last thing you want is your money in all-time lows, because I'm telling you, it could get really, it's a black hole. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to butcher it too much. But yeah, ACB looks way worse than Tilly. By no means would I even like, what was my, because I'll give you guys the same thing I did on the other one. Yeah, honestly, I'm not touching the stock till here. I really need to get over all three of these lines. Really, I guess this is the line. I honestly wouldn't touch ACB until we broke 102. Yeah, I think 102 is the number. Maybe even this guy, right? Yeah, I'm gonna keep 102. Man, you see, like these are tight right here. I guess I'll take 104. But see, at that point, like I guess I would just wait for this 111. Yeah, I would. That would be the play, I think. I would actually, nah, that's just silly. Okay, I think 98, 99 is a decent entry because look, at least that's a potential 10%. Okay. Um, and yeah, that would be a little bit smoother. It brings you at the plateau, but at least you're over those two lines. I'm not setting an alert because honestly, I do not want to know and I don't. You know what I mean? I'd maybe set an alert up here when it's over all the moving averages. But yeah, ACB before it takes a penny of my money. I'm telling you, it needs to do so much more. I'm not here to hate. You know, if you watch my videos, I'm not here to hate. I'm just being really realistic. I'm setting a high criteria, and I hope you do too. You know what I mean? Like, I work hard for my money. I'm not here to watch some stock just take it blindly and quickly. You know what I mean? So, hey, I hope you're learning. I sincerely appreciate your time. More videos are obviously coming.